Ah,
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of MC Anime. Today, we have a very special episode, but before we get to introducing that such episode, I'm MC Anime, and we have a special guest with us today.
hello guys. My name's Normie AKA Chemi. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing pretty well. And as you know, Kimmy's feeling a little under the weather, so just be aware if he has like a little sneeze or sniffle here and there.
I mean, coughing too. I mean, I could still
I
talk.
mean, yeah, you have
Oh my,
a fog stuck in your throat, as we should say.
what
But
the? No.
he's feeling generous today. He doesn't have a fog stuck in his throat, and he wants to talk. So
Yes.
giving him with little social life, Kimmy himself.
Oh, yay.
So we're in the 20.
Sorry. Continue.
We're in the 22nd episode today.
Wow.
So you want to introduce what we're talking about, Kimmy?
We're talking about Nintendo, and not just Nintendo. We're talking about Pokemon generations of Nintendo. Correct?
Yes. And
All
anyone
right.
that and enlighten us what Pokemon is for the people that might not know.
Hmm.
What is Pokemon?
Pokemon is it's kind of hard. Well, it's not. It's an anime based off of creatures, and people and
Mhm.
creatures, they bond together. You can play with the Pokemon with pets, or you can use them for battle,
Mhm.
and like you can also capture Pokemon, and you can also, if you want to play competitively, you can become the Pokemon champion or the best trainer in the world. And also importantly, you can also collect data of the Pokemon using the Pokédex. And that's the professor's dream to, collect all 721 Pokemon. I think that's how much it's currently right now. I'm probably incorrect. But yes, that's what basically Pokemon is, unless I missed anything.
Yeah. And original name for Pokemon was actually not Pokemon. It was actually Pocket Monsters in the Japanese version.
Yeah, I was also going to
And
bring that up.
with
Yep.
the debut of Pocket Monsters, Nintendo when Nintendo launched Pokemon as a game, it's one of the most iconic game characters that Nintendo has besides Mario. I don't really think there's another mascot other than Pikachu that is synonymous with Nintendo and its long range of property and game marks and all of that. Do you think that is a good valuation?
A good variation?
The evaluation of Super Mario compared to Pikachu and the symbol of Nintendo.
I agree, because, like in Pokemon like Pikachu. Well, funny enough, originally it wasn't Pikachu that was the face of Pokemon. It was actually Jigglypuff. Funny
Oh,
enough,
it's Clefairy.
or else, yeah, no, sorry, not Jigglypuff, Clefairy.
Jigglypuff.
Yes, like
Oh my god,
Jigglypuff was.
Jiggly.
It was good in Smash Brothers at some point,
Mm,
but that's a different game altogether. So
yeah. But, there is an Easter egg in Pokemon Yellow where there is a Clefairy and Pikachu is actually staring at Clefairy. So that's the Easter egg that they included with Clefairy in the manga being Ash's first Pokemon.
yeah,
But, since we're talking about Pokemon, we have to talk about the first generation, the first line of games. What's your aspect when the Pokemon first launched on the Game Boy?
Well, I wasn't really around. Well, I was around, but
He,
sorry. So
he
I
wasn't
wasn't.
around. He was just a baby. He didn't know what to do.
Oh my God. Well, let me continue talking. So, anyways, um, I wasn't really into Pokemon back when, well, again, I even wasn't like into much after back then. I really got into Pokemon when X and Y came around. Oh no, sorry, not X and Y. Black and White, where Zekrom
Mhm.
and Reshiram. I played the Black and White 2 version. That's where I started playing.
Yeah.
Um, but I did have experience playing the Game Boy games, and it's kind of fun. But honestly, if I was like in my 20s, right? If I was like in my 20s, right? I'm sure people like right now they played it at their childhood. So if I would probably have that that vibe, that my childhood vibe, But sadly, I didn't get to a chance to experience that. I only get to experience when black and white was like our generation.
Well,
So
my experience with Pokemon, it greatly differs with Kimmy. I didn't have to do black and white. I actually was introduced a first Pokemon game of Pokemon Yellow. That was a Christmas gift, I believe. And I kept playing that. I had a guide through book. I used the guide through book to actually play the game. I would beat the game several times. I would even be letting my brother play it because he really liked it as well. So I had a stipulation for my brother playing it. The stipulation that I actually set was basically, oh yeah, you can start a new game, but you cannot save the new game you started. So the way to get around this for him to play the game while not saving it is basically it would always be on. It would not cut off. If it was low battery, he would charge it and let it charge and and close the screen and then go back to playing it. Funny enough, he got to like halfway, and I was so evil. I still didn't let him save it because I didn't want to overwritten what I previously did. He had to start all over again because it there was a glitch in the Game Boy screen freezing, and you try to do everything you can to not let it freeze. So yeah, he had one of those moments where you didn't save the game.
oof,
Well,
unlucky.
actually, it was me being evil because I didn't want him to save the game at all. So it was
Fair enough.
even more,
Hmm.
I guess, more empowering on my part. He was so mad. Just imagine you doing it to your brother.
I mean, yeah, I actually do have a guidebook of the red, blue, and yellow. I actually have that. Funny enough, not sure how I got it though.
And then anyone that doesn't know what generation means in Pokemon, generation is the Pokemon game series. Group of games are released at or around the same time. It also means those games in the same generation are compatible with the others, contain the same Pokemon, the number of moves, and so etc. etc. And the Generation 1 games is pretty iconic for the simple fact that each poster child of each game was the starter Pokemon of Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, and Pokemon Green. And do you know what those promo Pokemon were?
It was Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, right?
Yes, but it was Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. Those were the cover Pokemon.
Uh huh.
Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, and Pokemon Green. And then you also had Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition, which was another little like basically paying tribute to Ash with Pikachu. And the funny enough about Pikachu, Pikachu will not evolve into Raichu in the game. So yeah, you were stuck with a starter Pokemon that did not evolve. So, but that's another story for why Pokemon Yellow has some issues.
Yeah.
Like you had Pokemon Yellow, you cannot evolve your Pikachu into Raichu, even though the third gym, Surge, literally has a flipping Raichu, and it literally has Mega Kick, and you can't get access to Raichu because you can't evolve it, even though you have the Thunderstones in Pokemon Yellow. You can put a Thunderstone on Eevee and get Jolteon, but you can't get Raichu from Pikachu. So yeah, that's messed up. But that's a different topic. It's also referred as the color generation due to the names of the versions released. first installment of the Pokemon franchise, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Green. And then we had Pokemon Blue and Special Pikachu Edition.
I see.
So what? Okay, so this is the generation that Game Boy started up. This is not even. This is just Game Boy regular, not Game Boy Advance, I think. So this is the Game Boy console that did not have rechargeable batteries. What's your take on that? You have to manually put batteries and manually buy batteries to put in it.
Well, I'm sure it was bad back in the day because nowadays we like better batteries where they can last longer than the batteries were back then. So I can see why. And plus, especially, you know, the technology back then was still kind of new to people. So, like, you know,
Yeah.
computers were a thing, and like, you know, I don't know. It's probably harder. Not only that's hard to get, but again, nowadays we have better technology, and you know, stuff have changed. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And also, after they released Pokemon Yellow in Japan, they also released on Game Boy while Pokemon Yellow's Pokemon Stadium for Nintendo 64 in Japan as well. And do you know how many? And also, the game had 151 Pokemon. Do you know the 101st Pokemon by any chance?
What?
The 101st Pokemon that you can actually catch.
Mewtwo, I think, right?
No, Mewtwo's 150, I think. I believe it's Mew.
Okay, either Mew or Mewtwo. I thought. Guess not. Oh no! I think it was an outside of the region. I think it was like either a Lugia or Ho-Oh. I'm not sure.
And with the first generation, it's actually Kanto region, and Kanto region had pretty good turnout in Pilot Town and the Victory Road and Indo League. What is your fondest memory of the Kanto region as a whole? What was one example in the game that you really liked?
Like I like where like like they give you. I think you are able to ride the bike too, right? I like the riding the bike, but actually, never mind because I remember in the first game you had to. It was really expensive. It was like maximum like 9999 whatever just to get a bike. So I guess one way to really enjoy it is like it's just actually I'll tell you. So back then also you can trade. Like I think trading and battling with your friends is just it was like really cool experience.
Okay, so
Like,
the
with
good
the
thing about
cord.
that you do bring up a good point about the trading. The trading in actually the first generation was the way they traded was through cables. They connected the cable back with the Game Boy, and they were able to trade with that connection and that wired connection to be able to trade. And you'll use like the trading whatever thing in the Pokemon clinic, the Poke Clinic, Poke Clinic, Pokemon. What is it called?
The
Gosh,
Pokemon cord or
the Poke
no?
Cord does. Where you heal your Pokemon, Pokemon Center.
Oh,
Yeah, you would use the Pokemon Center, the in-net trading network to connect to it, and then after you connect to it, you use the cable to actually trade.
yes, correct.
And as each generation goes, there's also different ways to trade, but those get implemented in other generations.
And what's even fun about trading is like some Pokemon they can evolve when you trade,
Yeah.
which is funny enough.
And then also certain Pokemon trade while holding certain items as well. So if they're holding a certain item when you trade it, you get that Pokemon. So now you could ask your friends like, "Can you help me evolve my Pokemon? Help me trade it with this item, or help me trade it," and then we evolve that Pokemon, and then you give it back to me. You can do something like that. They probably would help you, but I would think you should give them a trade after helping you with that as well. So, would you think that'd be a good deal?
Yeah, of course, because like you need help with the Pokédex, right?
Yeah, it's like if I'm helping you with the Pokédex, you need to give me a trade. Now, it's not as cliche with like Shamal and all that stuff, but like the theme song of the first season as Kanto is very synonymous because of that.
Hmm.
But, you know, with this gameplay, you have to defeat the 8 gym leaders, the Elite Four, and the Pokemon Champion. A lot of times, the Pokemon Champion was your rival when you first introduced in the game. Yes, Pokemon, you have a rival every single generation, and in the game, you battle that person multiple times throughout your world building experience to level up and beat the gym leaders, collect the items, and also get to the parts in the story where you had to acquire such an item to advance to the next part of the story. Like the Poke Flute, Snorlax in the road, or going up the Lavender Town, getting the special. I believe it's another flute that makes the ghost Pokemon actually a Cubone, and you'd be able to battle it and advance the storyline. So yeah, there's all different types of items that are associated with it as well. What do you think of Snorlax in the first generation?
Snorlax.
Blocking the road and you could not advance. You had to go this roundabout way to go to the next town over.
I'm pretty sure the Pokeflu was in the game back then, right?
Yes, it was.
So yeah, I mean, actually, funny enough, in Heart Gold or like in the remakes, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, well, so yeah, well, it's sort of the remakes. When the remakes basically. So it is possible you can catch two Snorlaxes if I'm not mistaken. Like there's actually two of them are blocking two roads. So
Yeah, Pokemon
pretty
Yellow has
funny.
two.
Yeah, so that's pretty. Yeah, I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Like because then you can use the first Snorlax to collect your Pokedex in battle. Then you can use. Well, I don't think shinies were invented back then, but I don't know.
I
That's
think
another thing.
shinies. I think there was like glitches in the game that had different color Pokemon, but it didn't like take to like I think it was Generation 2, Generation 3, where the term shiny actually became more popular. Shinies in the game was actually a mistake, but after Nintendo realized that mistake, they started actually making shinies. They actually clarified in Generation 3 what shinies were. They basically embraced the term and were able to say, yeah, let's make this a niche area for people to have those shiny Pokemon. So they actually programmed it in the game more than before.
Yeah.
And also, okay, there is one more thing we need to discuss before we go to the next generation. The
Okay.
difference between TMs and HMs. TMs is the technical moves, while HMs is the hidden moves. So you can have the technical move Thunderbolt, teach it to a Pokemon that can actually learn that TM. Now it has a new move. Hidden move. The thing with hidden moves, the difference between TMs and HMs in this generation is that once you use the TM, you can no longer use another TM, except if you can like buy it from the Pokemall in Surrounding City. That's the only time you can get multiple same TMs. But usually, if you teach one TM, it's basically on that Pokemon who learned that move. While HMs are like surf, fly, cut. These are required to advance gameplay. So you have to teach one Pokemon one of these moves in order to get to bushes or get surfing on ocean get to a town on different routes. And most of the time, you can teach Pokemon that HM move, and you can teach another Pokemon that same HM move. What do you think of that?
TMs and HMs are kind of like because the thing with HMs, you kind of need them to like to progress through
Yeah.
the game, like Rock Smash, Cut, Surf, Waterfall, and all that good, and Smog, like when there's like fog. No, sorry, like defog or whatever it's called that clears away the fog. But yeah, or Flash when you have to travel through the caves when it's
Well,
dark.
Waterfall, I don't believe was introduced in Generation 1. I think that's another generation.
Same with Flash
Yeah.
and defog was like a way
Oh my
higher.
gosh. Flash, well, if you did not get Flash, I think from the cruise line or something or a gym, uh,
Yeah,
you
after
literally had to go to
you
a
save
cave
this,
that's
yeah,
super dark. You don't know where you're going. You have this limit. You have this like I don't know, tiny circle of light to see where you're going. It's so annoying.
oh, you know another thing I hated about until like the Game Boy Color was released, like you can't even play your Game Boys in the dark. Like you need to like use like a flashlight to like
Yeah,
shine at your Game Boy. Like unless you're like have your lights on, but as a
yeah.
kid, your parents you probably want your room's lights off in the middle of the night. So you probably need to have like a flashlight if you want to play in the middle of the night,
Mm-hmm.
or else you have to play when it's daylight out. So that's
Yeah, they
another.
had fixed the problem with the Game Boy Advance Color and
Yeah,
also Game Boy
yeah.
Advance SP.
Mm-hmm.
So you know we can't talk about Generation One without talking about the neighboring region of Johto, I believe.
Okay.
Generation Two. What do you think of Generation Two?
Generation 2 would be Johto, right?
Yes.
Johto I also really enjoyed. So actually, I'll tell you my experience. So I was trying to shiny hunt for a shiny Cyndaquil, like a red
Mhm.
Cyndaquil. It looked really nice, and Cyndaquil is one of my favorite starters, and arguably one of the best starters in the game. The fact you could
Yeah.
teach it like Thunder Punch and like Eruption, all these powerful moves. So, so I was over like 170 attempts. Instead of a shiny Cyndaquil, they gave me a shiny Totodile, which is also a really good starter.
Mhm.
So it had like a okay nature, but I was still pretty happy that it under 100 tries or over 100 tries at least. Um, the fact that I found a shiny starter. I also have another funny story where my very first encounter was a shiny Pidgey, and I
Mhm.
had no Pokeballs, so it was clearly impossible because you really can't catch the Pokemon your very first encounter. Like that's what
Mhm.
really sucks. So it's really impossible to catch the shiny of your first encounter.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I
And
was so
with
mad.
Generation Two, we're introduced to 100 more Pokemon, which is exclusive to Johto region and are not found in the Kanto region. We also have Pokemon expand the evolution families of older Pokemon, and the majority are brand new evolutionary families. So, what do you think? I know, I believe there was a Kanto Pokemon that got Johto evolutions. Am I correct?
Sorry, repeat.
There was Kanto Pokemon that got Johto evolutions.
I believe so. Yeah.
Do you, gosh, do you remember one?
Huh?
Do you remember one of them?
Remember the evolutions?
Yeah, like what if a Pokemon is exclusive to Kanto, but it has an evolution in Johto?
um, not to my knowledge. No, I haven't really played it in a while.
Yeah. And also with this, we also have advances in gameplay. Uh, we have new features, 100 new Pokemon, 8 new gyms. Ooh, we also introduced 2 new types of Pokemon, Dark and Steel types. What do you
Yep.
think? That's funny that we get Dark, which is like kind of similar to Ghost.
Oh, you also forgot the EV evolutions back in, because back
Oh
in the
yeah, we had
yellow,
Eevee evolutions in Kanto.
yeah, but
We had
it was very
Jolteon,
limited.
Flareon, right? Pyreon, I believe.
Yeah, the fire, water, and electric. Like that's the only
Yeah,
ones you very limited. But now we have ones like we had psychic types too. Like we had Espeon,
Espeon.
Leafeon, well, it's
And
Umbreon.
Generation 2? All of that came in Generation 2?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah, we had
Okay.
Espeon, Leafeon, and Umbreon.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and Espeon has to evolve in the daytime, but Umbreon has to evolve in the nighttime. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
and then Leafeon just used the Leaf
Yeah.
Stone. So
I thought Leafeon was Sinnoh.
Sinnoh,
Yeah, I thought it
really?
was Sinnoh.
Oh, maybe it is Sinnoh. I'm not sure.
Or maybe, I don't know, I'm also seeing Glaceon too.
No,
Uh,
Glaceon. No. Glaceon was Sinnoh, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah. Leafeon is
But,
also
yeah.
Leafy is yeah.
So yeah, we had Dark and Steel. Steel, wake to fire, wake to earth, no, wake to ground and fire and fighting. Yeah, but
But
Dark
it's
and Steel
also
share the same different type advantage, which is fighting based Pokemon, fighting moves. Yeah,
maybe true, but like
don't get me started with Sableye being Dark and Ghost type and having immunity to fighting.
which one?
But Sableye is a Dark and
Oh,
Ghost type.
Sableye. Yeah, but
Yeah.
to be fair, no one uses Sableye. Like, let's be real. No one
I loved
uses
it. I loved him in Leaf Green when I just have like a full Ghost team, and he just happened to be Ghost or Dark, and having perfect counter to the fighting Pokemon in that game. We
Yeah.
also have genders, so some Pokemon are exclusively female, like Chansey. We also have exclusively male Pokemon, like Hippo-chan, or the genderless Meta Knight. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is where Pokemon have genders now. Chansey's exclusively female. Hypno-chan is exclusively male, and Magnemite. There's some Pokemon that in the game that does not have no gender. So, Pokemon breeding is obtained. Some moves can be learned exclusively through the breeding process. And Pokemon breeding is not, it's basically you put them in the different egg groups and they spawn the Pokemon in the egg and you have to hatch the egg. That's how Pokemon breeding is exclusively done. You usually use like a place to have them specifically put two Pokemon together to breed. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think of the Pokemon breeding mechanic? Like now you can get like some people to like Pichu is introduced in Joker.
Yeah, like the egg mechanic I really like, especially for like shiny hunting. Like, it was really interesting. Like, and there's also Poke Hacks or
Yeah,
Pokerus. If you have
yeah,
like the 6 IV shiny Ditto, yeah, like you can get a perfect Pokemon, whatever. So
yeah.
yeah, that's really nice. I actually need to get one of my own. Funny enough, I know a good friend of mine who recently got one from a YouTuber, which is pretty nice. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it seems
And then we
nice.
also have Pokemon maintain a degree of happiness. Some
Yep.
Pokemon only evolve when reaching a certain degree of happiness, like Eevee, like the Espeon or Umbreon evolutions.
Yeah.
It's how happy they are, and depending on what time. Also, this is another thing that's really interesting. The internal clock for the first time. So now we actually have a clock in the Pokemon universe. That's
Yep.
funny. Which is the 7 times of the times of the day with Espeon Umbreon again. We have morning, day, and night. Different Pokemon encounter different times, and certain events only happen during certain days of the week. Now we also another part that was included is the experience bar has now been added to the battle screen to show how much is needed to level up. So that's
Hmm.
important because you get different level ups, you get different incentives to level up. learning different moves, evolving, etc. Okay, here's a big change from Pokemon Generation 1. The special stat. You know what I'm referring to here?
What?
The special stat.
Special
In
what?
Generation 1, there was a thing called special stat. This basically means that the special attack and special defense was all one thing.
Oh,
So
that's
if you
right. The
had like,
stats. Yeah.
yeah, if you had like the Eric's exam, for example, which had a huge special attack, it also had a huge special defense, just because of a high special attack. So that special stat, when they actually made the two separate, it's actually good because now anything with a high defense also had a high special attack. But now they're separate. So now special attack, they're like Thunderbolt, so if can hit people, and if they have a slow special defense, then it does more damage. It doesn't now. It does not combine. Special defense can only block the special attack now.
Yeah.
And also, one thing about the statuses of Pokemon is you have attack. Uh, I believe it's agility. I believe how fast it is. Defense, special defense, and then health. So health measures how much you have left. The experience bar is how much experience you have accumulated to level up. So yeah, and different Pokemon have different health and HP and all that stuff. Ooh, Pokemon may carry items equipped so they can help in battle.
Yeah.
This is where certain Pokemon are now able to evolve when traded when holding a particular item. Oh, Pokeos! Oh, Pokevirus! Oh my gosh! Do you know what Pokeos is? Pokeos? Kimmy? Chemist? Hello? Chemist? Hello? Well, this is where Pokeos comes into play as well. We also have the Pokemon Gear that has the abilities of a mobile phone to challenge you to rematch radio and with various radio shows. Chemist?
Oh, sorry. Disconnect. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah, I just talked about Pokeos. You know what Pokeos is? Pokevirus.
Uh,
It affects your
yes, I heard
party,
of it.
and your party has like special, I think, status moves or something. Priority to level up.
Yeah.
We also have Pokegear. Now you can actually you have a capability of a mobile phone, trainers to challenge you, rematch radio and radio shows and music. Some Pokemon are added, updated with new types or characteristics. Magnemite and Magneton become Electric Steel type, for example, which in Generation 1 they're exclusively electric type. Battle effects are added, so like hail, snow, storm, all that stuff comes into play. Ghost type attacks are now super effective against psychic Pokemon. Poison attacks do normal damage to bug. Bug attacks do half damage to poison type. Ice is ineffective against fire. So,
Yep.
what is your opinion of Johto, for example?
Uh, I honestly like the generation. Like, I had a good experience with it. Um,
I mean, this is literally when shiny Pokemon started as
of
well.
course, yeah. Who doesn't like shiny Pokemon?
And
Unless
shiny
you're one of those people
Pokemon
that
existed in
Pokemon.
Generation 1, but it was a glitch. But they added it in Generation 2 because of that glitch and of how much popularity it gave from that glitch. So,
Well, I was gonna say people
yeah.
mistakenly think, oh, shiny Pokemon were a glitch, and they would just turn off their game, and they just realize, oh wait, that was a shiny. Or one glitch you did forgot about was like surfing glitch, or you
Mhm.
can counter missing number or missing no.
Oh yeah.
Some scary stories.
There's all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, some scary stories if you encounter missing no.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, possible visit now. So you also had the possibility to visit Kanto years after Pokemon Blue, Yellow, and trainers with high levels.
yeah,
So if you beat the game, you were able to unlock the Kanto region, so you can actually have like two regions.
yeah,
So you still have the Elite Four and Champion still there. Um, you know, the members of the Elite Four use Psychic, Poison, Fighting, and Dark, and then Lance, the Pokemon Champion, used Dragon exclusively. The starter Pokemon we have are Chiorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile. I love Totodile. I can't. I don't know. Totodile is probably one of the Pokemon I remember mostly from Johto because it's just its personality and how we saw with Ash and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind him sneezing in the background. He's just,
Uh,
the
oh,
way
what?
it is.
Not even a bless you. Two. Oh,
Zootite, being German.
what?
Gesundheit. It means bless you.
Oh, god damn it! Thank you. Hmm.
Let's talk about Generation 3 for a second.
Okay.
So, what's your opinion on Generation 3?
Generation 3, which would be Sinnoh, correct?
Yes.
Well, recently they made the remakes of, they made
Yeah.
Brilliant Diamond, Berry Pole. I like Chimchar, but I also played when Platinum
Mhm.
got released as well. I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people had experience, where you have Giratina, and I like Dialga. Yeah, Dialga. The thing with Diamond is like they have like
Mhm.
the better Pokemon in Pearl, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just mostly like Chimchar.
Yeah.
Arguably, he's one of the best as well.
Yeah. And we also take place in the Hoenn region as well.
Huh?
We also take
Oh
place
wait,
in
we
the
skipped.
Hoenn
Oh
region.
yeah, sure, we skipped. Sorry, not Sinnoh. Hoenn. Sorry.
Yeah, this is the Hoenn region. What are you talking about?
You're the one that said. You're the one that brought up Sinnoh. Blah blah blah. Okay, so anyways,
I
we'll go
said
back to the.
Generation 3. I didn't say Sinnoh. I said
No,
Hoenn.
no, 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 no. You said Sinnoh. No, 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 no. Okay, look.
We
Anyways,
brought up Sinnoh. I didn't ever said Sinnoh. You said no. Mind.
look. Anyway, so Hoenn. Okay, Oh, sorry. Hoenn, I liked. I really liked.
Yeah.
So I like all three of the starters because like
Mhm.
with Torchic, Blaziken was really fast.
Yeah.
And the fact its hidden ability speed boost, just each turn it just gets it really fast.
Hmm.
And then what else? So let's see, Mudkip.
Hmm.
Yeah, like Mudkip. Yeah, so Mudkip really. I think Mudkip's like the best starter. Um, because it's like it could get way worse. Sorry if I sound weird, kind of sick, but anyways, then I picked Trico because I like Trico. It just looks really nice, and it's also a
Yeah,
strong
it just gets
Pokemon.
a huge. I think it gets like a huge speed boost and special attack. So that's generally what they're known for. But
And
so
yeah, yeah. Oh,
the
sorry.
game.
Continue.
So let's see. They move players to the Hoenn region, an island that's disconnected from Kanto and Johto. The games of themselves are incompatible with the previous two generations as well, causing many complaints due to the unavailability of many popular Generation 1 and 2. However, between the. Yeah. Okay, so when they first released the first generation of Hoenn games, they didn't have Pokemon from Pokemon Johto and Pokemon Kanto being played in the game. So they had that feature in Johto, so they wanted that feature again. So they will eventually release that feature in Pokemon Red and Green. But this is basically Fire Red and Leaf Green for the Game Boy Advance. So just keep a note of that. So what's your experience with some of the games in like Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, first of all?
I personally did not play like the original ones, but I did play the actually. Well, yeah, you're right. Now I did play Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I know it's not really the same, but like,
Oh,
yeah,
you go into like Generation 8, I believe. Oh boy.
it's not. Well, okay, fine. Well, I say I'll have a little experience. Uh, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I had a little bit of experience with Emerald, with Rayquaza. Uh, so
Well, okay. I do have experience with one of the games, Emerald. I actually bought Emerald from someone. They wanted like $50 for it, so I paid the $50, whatever. And I played a little bit, and then I realized that I actually like not restarting the game. They had previous games saved, so I'll just keep battling the Elite Four and Emerald for fun. So I'll just keep the Pokemon that they had. So I actually never officially restarted Emerald. I still have it, but never actually restarted it. That's kind of funny with me. But my probably the best version I got from the other RPG, like Fire Red and Leaf Green, was Leaf Green for my example. I would play. This is literally where the Orange Islands comes into play in the anime of Pokemon, the Battle Frontier. I would literally exclusively play Battle Frontier in Leaf Green religiously. My time on the game went to like 99999, like 6 digits of nine, and it tapped out on the time mark in the game. That's how much I played the Battle Frontier, which is a side mini game in the game itself. So yeah, that's my experience with Generation 3. And I didn't, at first play these when they first released. I played them after the fact, so that's where my experience comes from.
I see.
Spite in the Hoenn and base games, the storyline of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, Fire and Red and Leaf Green, due to its continuous with Generation 1 as well, placed in Generation 3 years before Generation 2 and 4. It's unknown where the storylines in Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness fall in the timeline. But, there's different versions of the gameplay. So let's talk about gameplay real quick. We have 135 Pokemon, 2 new forms of Unknown. Unknown is I think representing the alphabet. Addition of 103 new moves. We also have 1 or 2 of the 77 different abilities. Pokemon storage system has been introduced. Now you have boxes to store the items. Pokemon contest. Oh gosh. What do you think of the Pokemon contest? Kimmy, you there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's up?
Pokemon contest. Remember
What about
Pokemon
it?
contest?
Uh,
Display moves of like beauty or strength or dress your Pokemon up, use accessories with ribbons.
yeah. Uh, I really don't have much experience with that. I told you I didn't really play much in that generation.
You have experience in the anime about it. People
The
go to the
anime.
Pokemon. Yeah, they had the Pokemon contest in the anime. Going
Well,
and Hoenn. You don't remember the different Pokemon going to show off the different moves, but not in a battle way, but in a performance way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they did. That's how they, you enhance Pokeblocks and all that stuff. 7 new Pokemon Ball variants, including exclusive to Johto. We have new villain teams, Team Aqua and Team Magma. And also the villain games of Johto and Kanto were exclusively Team Rocket, for anyone who doesn't know. Kyogre, Groudon was also been covers of these games. Weather cannot be found on the field. Activate the start of the battle when once or more hail has been added. Double battles. Link trades still pretty prevalent. Handheld has like a frame rate of 60. So pretty much there's I like the games. I didn't really see there's a decrease. Any final thoughts about Generation 3?
Not really.
Yeah, dude, his life experience, he doesn't know much about Generation 3. But let's move on to Generation 4. You want to start off?
Okay, so that's it, all right.
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, I already kind of like discussed it, like Chimchar and like oh yeah, we have an introduction to dragon types now. So
Yes.
that's what I really liked. And so with dragon, so like, what I learned is like I learned all of this stuff when the remakes came out. Like yeah, with the new Brilliant Diamond Pearl, I learned a lot with the remake. The fact that dragon types are really extremely strong, and you at least want to have at least one ice type Pokemon in your team. Mainly because you want to like respect the Garchomp matchup, because Garchomp is a very incredible Pokemon, especially in the metagame currently, if you're playing competitive Pokemon. But
Wait, didn't they have? I thought they had Dragon type in. I swore they had Dragon type in Johto. I mean Kanto, with Dragonite and Dragonite.
no, they were considered as flying types. No, well in Hoenn no, because they had Rayquaza. No, they didn't. No, they didn't have it. No, they introduced Dragon types in Sinnoh, I believe.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Dragonite was all the way in Generation 1.
yes, but it was considered as a flying type,
Ugh.
a normal
Alright.
flying type. Yeah, I remembered.
Well, now it's Dragon flying, so it has a double weakness to ice.
Okay, then why is Charizard looks like a dragon, but he's a fire flying? Huh? See, great logic, isn't it?
He's a dragon flying in the Mega Evolution.
That's its mega evolution. We're talking about the normal Charizard mix. Like it was
Charizard's fire flying exclusively all throughout the games except for Mega Evolution.
yes, but that mega evolution didn't come out until X and Y. We're not even there yet.
Oh.
We're still in
Well, yeah,
Sinnoh.
then we also have a Gyarados being dark water type in its Mega
When
Evolution.
was Gyarados a dark water type?
I don't
Explain.
know.
It was always a water flying type. No, sorry.
It is. It's just
Uh,
whenever it's Mega Evolve, I just like the red
no,
shiny
it's a water.
Gyarados.
No, it becomes a dragon type when it mega evolves.
Oh
What?
my gosh.
My God. Well, it's not even meant to be a
The
dragon. It's supposed to be a fish.
the games they have in the Sinnoh in Generation 4 in the Sinnoh region is Diamond, Pokemon Pearl, and Pokemon Platinum.
Yes.
We also have spin-off games of Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
So, like, anyways, there's a reason why you want to at least have one ice type in your team is to respect the Garchomp matchup. And, of course, only matchup would be Cynthia. So, which ice type Pokemon is only good, you may ask? There wasn't really a lot, sadly. Oh, yeah, ice types were introduced too, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you're right, yeah. So, ice and dragon types, obviously, ice is superior, especially towards Garchomp, because Garchomp is a ground dragon type. It is 4 times weakness to ice. So
Ice
that's
Beam
why.
Ice Beam has literally been a move since Generation 1. So them just introducing no, they had to have Ice type in Generation 1.
They did?
I believe so, because Ice Beam was literally always an Ice type move.
Oh wait, yeah, never mind. I'm dumb. But
Proven who knows Pokemon better.
I didn't say that. Oh my god. But anyways, I played competitive. Okay, so I'm telling you, And when you play Sinnoh, you want to at least have one ice type in your team so you can take down the Garchomp. You know who I used? I used Abomasnow. The fact that it's
Lava Snow. That's
Abomas,
one of the slower ice type moves.
it knows grass types too. It's an ice grass
Yeah,
type.
it's like ice grass. Like it gets really crazy with grass knot and frenzy
Yes, but
plant. It gets kind of crazy.
okay,
Oh,
but also
no. Bomb Snow can also learn Wood Hammer, which is
exactly,
literally
but
100
what?
damaging move.
Okay, but
With the,
Woodhammer was not in the game back then. That's the thing. It wasn't introduced in the game back then. Woodhammer was announced in X and Y.
yeah, I know.
But look, anyways, Abomasnow is really good because the fact has the ability Snow Warning, which creates the battlefield of snow with hail, and also it's a tanky Pokemon. So why would
Yeah,
you not play Abomasnow? And the fact
yeah.
you can also play Weavile, but the thing with Weavile, sure, it's really fast. It's faster than Abomasnow, but it can easily get killed by one hit. Like it's not really. But Abomasnow,
And
however, it's really bulky and it can hit hard as well. So.
then what Chemist is referring to right now is the competitive Pokemon. You do Pokemon battles against people online or in-person events, stuff like that. That's what he's
Yeah.
mostly focused on. But stats matter. HP matters. Type of advantage matters. Switching out and all that stuff matters in the game. It's more prone in competitive level more. So did you play like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Hot Gold, or Soul Silver?
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah.
Which games?
Let's see. I played Platinum, and obviously I played the remakes. I played Brilliant Diamond, and I
Mhm.
played Heart Gold since Ho-Oh was one of my favorite legendaries.
Yeah.
Gold Hole,
I
yeah, Gold.
I I have I think I have Platinum and Diamond. I don't think I have Pearl. I played them briefly. But the game I tried to play I think I played the most was Hot Gold.
Oh, you
It was
also
called
forgot Pokemon like Gold, Silver. You also forgot Pokemon Crystal. I actually played that game,
Yeah.
like when they had Suicune and like the legendary dogs.
Yeah. But the problem with Soul Silver I had a cartridge that was glitched, so I actually wouldn't really save the game. It was so frustrating to play it. So I would try to save it and then I cut it off. It just goes back to the name game. So yeah, I can't save my own Soul Silver game. It was so frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a glitched cartridge that just kept not saving the game, and that's my experience with Soul Silver. Very divided on that one, I should say. We also had Pokemon Ranch, which was also in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So Battle Evolution was a arena game that came out on this generation. But yeah, I feel like with the different abilities and Pokemon Store system updated, bringing the total to 18 for a total of 540 Pokemon. I believe wasn't this still the Game Boy or was this the DS situation?
What?
Diamond wasn't Pokemon Diamond and Platinum still in? Wasn't they in DS, Nintendo
Yeah,
DS?
it was in DS. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So from the Switch to Game Boy to DS, the trading actually worked a little bit differently. You had to, I think, exclusively use some feature to trade from those games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're able to trade.
You're able to trade, but you had to go into the weird. I think was it Pokebank?
I think it was. Hmm.
It might have been Pokebank. You connect to the other generations because I know with DS you could trade exclusively through wireless connection, just connecting the DSs to each other, infrared on the network. So yeah, we trading is now easier. You didn't have to have a wire to be required to trade. You can just do it through your DS settings in the infrared, and you trade it via network that way, which is kind of cool. The different technology linking to wireless means shows the evolution of the games.
Yeah.
The 4 new variants of Pokeball introduced. The return of real time and days of the week from Generation 2 between times of the day. Moves are now physical or special based on the move itself rather than its type. We also have status. We also have the category of status that includes moves that do not do direct damage, such as Toxic, Recover, and Destiny Bond. So we now actually have status moves in the title, which is kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and then many words previously displayed with all levels are now displayed correctly as Solar Beam instead of all capital Solar Beam, was Pokemon using Pokemon and stuff like that. So we also have fixing of the words as well. So that's a recap of Generation 4. Let's go over Generation 5 real quick. What do you think of Generation 5?
Generation 5 is Unova, correct?
Yes.
All right, so Black and White. That's where I started playing. Yes. So I liked all three of the starters: Snivy, Oshawa, and Tepig. Those were awesome. So with Tepig, it's a fire pig, it turns into Emboar, especially
Yeah.
in its shiny form with Emboar. It looks really cool, but sadly, it's not really as good as a lot of people thought it would be.
Fighting Pig. It reminds me of Spidey Pig. Fighting Pig, the Fighting Pig.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's a firefighting type. Yes. Yeah, the anime. I think Emboar was a firefighter. Actually, in the anime.
Yeah,
Funny
I
enough.
think isn't it Dark and Fire?
No, it's a firefighting type.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh my god, no. I just told you the anime. It's a firefighter in the anime. I told you.
Firefighter, yeah. That's
Yes.
a firefighter. It's gonna fly through the air and be the new fighting forces of the airplanes.
Well, normally there'll be water types that are firefighters, which is kind of strange. Except fire, I don't know. That's just weird. But
There's
anyways,
only one water fighting type. That's
water
Poliwrath.
polyrath. Yes. But anyways, Oshawa. I just like Oshawa because it's cute, and then but who doesn't like Oshawa? But the anime, it's a simp, it's a huge, it's yeah. So, anyways, Snivy I chose as my starter because obviously, well, all three of I think Snivy's the best because the fact is, it's really fast. It's a grass type, and also with superior hit ability, contrary, which turns its down stats. It turns the opposite of down stats basically. So when you use Leaf Storm, normal Leaf Storm will decrease your special attack by 2 or by 1. Instead of doing that, it doubles. It does the opposite. So each time you use Leaf Storm, your Leaf Storm gets powerful each time you use it. So yeah, this makes Superior so strong.
And also, the next generation, we have the Black and White, and then Black 2 and Black and White 2 games released during this time. It's based on the Unova region, the 5th installment.
And the Unova region is also based off of New York City. They have the Statue of Liberty. They have, they have
it's
the city.
actually in the New York City metropolitan area specifically.
Yeah, that too.
You're able to communicate with the 5 generation games in the same way that you communicate with the 5 generation 3 games. Transfer Power Park. Okay, you can trade in the Power Park during this time. Transfer Pokemon from Power Park. Pokemon Bank. I don't think Pokemon Bank was introduced yet.
Not to my knowledge. It was introduced when X and Y was released, I believe.
So yeah, Black and white occurs in an unknown part of time after Generation 2 and Generation 4, 6. The Team Rocket grunt who stole the machine part makes a cameo appearance saying that while he had intended to revive Team Rocket upon returning home, he fell in love and had a son. Cynthia mentions the distortion world being defeated by young trainers, Sinnoh League champion, that's all that stuff.
I see.
Let's see. Ooh, Dream World is also interesting. This generation, we actually have Pokemon with legitimate abilities, rather than the two have been the standard since Generation 3. Yet another to explore is the Unova region, far away from the previous 4 base, rather than the region of Japan. Hi, what do you think of Team Plasma?
It was interesting. The fact that N, like the green hair guy, he turns out to be the leader's son, and he's opposite of it. He wanted to, he actually wanted to save the Pokemon, and in the next generation, he became like the next king or whatever of Unova. When Getsis was, the ruler, and was the prince. But after Getsis was defeated by the trainer, and became like the champion, and he's also the king, the new ruler.
Oh yeah.
So,
But yeah,
the
Team
fact
Plasma
that
is
he
kind
also
of
has
interesting.
Reshiram on his side as well, and
Yeah.
Zekrom.
They want to separate the world of Pokemon and humans to make a black and white world based on the Reshiram and Zekrom? Yeah,
Yeah,
Zekrom.
and also had Zekrom. He has both
Yeah.
Reshiram and Zekrom.
Yeah. And
So,
most of the legendaries in this generation is Dragon. So Electric Dragon, Fire Dragon, I believe Ice Dragon for
they have Kyurem. They
Kylan.
also have another version of the legendary dogs
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Verizon,
The fighting Pokemon.
Camaleon,
Yeah.
Terrakion.
Yeah. The
They also
fighting.
have
I think
Keldeo.
I don't think the legendary, the mythical. The
Actually,
mythical.
no. What Keldeo is a water fighting type when it's in its
Yeah.
secondary form.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I
So,
forgot
yeah.
about that. We also have the inclusion of triple battles and rotation battles.
Yep.
For anyone that doesn't know what a triple battle is, you basically have a lineup of 3 Pokemon and battle at once. Same thing with double battle. You have 2 Pokemon of your team at once. And rotation battles is really weird because you rotate in a circle based on attacks, and I've played it. It's okay. This is not my style. I like triple battles and double battles mostly. Since I played double battles exclusively in Battlefront 2 a lot, so I know how they work. We have the introduction of the Wonder Launcher, a new battle mode which can stack with double, triple, and rotation battles. Ah! What do you? Oh, Dark Grass. This is interesting. Double battles against wild Pokemon could occur. So now you have different types of grass in which indicates a double battle in the wild. Poke Radar is in this set as well. You can involve wild Pokemon items moving and making sounds indicating the position. It's basically a replacement of Poke Radar in that sense.
I see.
Unova is more realistic and lifelike. The curves in places like Castelia City, Dragon Spire Tower, and the Sky Arrow Bridge. You also have side-facing waterfalls as well. Also, in this generation, the Pokemon is now combined with the Poke Center. They're no longer separate. That's weird to me. I don't really expect the Pokemon to be separate from the Poke Center. Don't you think that's a little weird?
Oh, what's a little bit weird?
The Pokemon and then the Poke Center is now combined. Pokemon Center.
Oh yeah. That's a bit interesting. Yeah.
They always been separate buildings in the same town. Poke Center is where Pokemon Center you hear your Pokemon trade and all that stuff. Pokemon is where you buy like, items and also you can sell these items to Pokemon to get money. We also have the introduction to Intralink. You allows players to visit each other in game in black and white, rather than just inside the Union Room or the Underground. So I really think the start of the Intralink like really starts the online gameplay that we see now. What do you think?
It's interesting.
I mean, the new Pokemon Global Link to the internet to view the statistics, downloads, and changes, such as design the Pokédex. Also grants access to the Poke Dream World. May befriend Pokemon and send over to their games. I think the Pokemon Global Link is huge because now the DS games are actually connecting to the internet. And now you're actually connecting to people on the internet, whereas before the games didn't have that feature.
I see.
Ooh, when a Pokemon. Oh, also we have speed at which Pokemon slows down as the HP goes down, with most status moves like Frozen, not move at all. When a Pokemon is affected by a status condition, in addition to slowing movement, it also glows a color depending on the status condition. Slate doesn't have a color, but uses a different sprite that depicts the Pokemon eyes closed. So now you can actually tell what status condition you are. Like if you're frozen, you are like blue and ice. Paralyzed, you're yellow. You can actually tell what you have.
Hmm.
You know. Okay, so the TMs have expanded from 92 to 95. Oh, in addition, now has an okay. So this is the generation where TMs now have infinite uses like HMs. That's huge. What do you think about that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Repeat.
Uh, TMs now have infinite use counts. You can use it multiple times on multiple Pokemon. The previous the previous generations TMs can only be used once on a Pokemon. But now with the fifth installment, we actually have infinite uses of TMs. You think that's handy, or that you think it's like a handicap?
Probably a handicap, to be honest.
Why? What do you think is a handicap?
The fact that it kind of like not lets you. You have to use like I don't know. What are your thoughts on it, really?
Well, I like it because I can teach multiple Pokemon the same move. I don't have to just selectively select one Pokemon, and you can change them at will too. So if you need to change the move, you just go in your TMs and change the move for a better move.
Oh, I didn't hear
Yeah,
that part. Never mind.
you you can't tell me you had a particular TM that you regretted using on a Pokemon and you wish you put it on another Pokemon.
Are we still talking about like in the Sinnoh region?
Yeah, when
Oh,
you had if you had a TM, you can only have one use of that TM. Once you used it, it was gone. It was used on that Pokemon.
yeah, that's true. Oh.
But now you can have hold your entire TMs and use it for any Pokemon you want. This also means that uh the TMs you can it also affects competitive battling too. You know that, right? Now you can just have the generic TMs that you don't necessarily have to get exclusively in this generation to get that Pokemon that loan that TM. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So it influences more than that. Also, you also prevent the uses of for the PP restoration when a Pokemon forces a move in order to learn from a TM or HM. The move learned takes on the current PP of the current move in place up to the maximum. The number of HM has been reduced from 8 to 6. The first four remain the same. The first generations. HM 5 is now Waterfall. HM 6 is now Dive. So, you still got Cut, you still got Stuff, but now you got Waterfall and Dive as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I believe you still got Cut. Don't you still have Cut in the main game? And
I'm pretty
Flash
sure you
and all
do.
that? And
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
pretty
it's
sure.
Strength, Cut, Flash, and there's one more. Defog? No, Defog was the other generation. I don't know. Fly. Still got Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flash, Fly, Cut, and Strength. Trading progress has been upgraded. Pokemon's might trade Pokemon directly from the PC boxes without having to place offered Pokemon. The global terminal also allows players to trade using this method. Furthermore, players can trade outside of the Poke Center via infrared.
Hmm.
And also, when people in Pokemon sent out, a sound effect and a visual effect as they land, depending on the weight of the Pokemon. But yeah, that is. We also have like Curse as a question type attack. Doesn't exist in this generation. So Curse is now a ghost type move.
Yeah.
I always wonder about Curse. Like it always says question mark, question mark. But now it's Curse is a ghost type move. Which is really weird because if it's not a ghost type Pokemon using it, it just gets like the attack and the attack and defense and speed reduced.
Hmm.
But ghost type exclusively use it to drain their health to give you a curse. Yeah, we also have Rotom's Appliance is now no longer ghost type Pokemon. Instead, they're electric.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Generation 6 real quick.
That would be Kalos, right? With X and Y.
Yeah.
So, what I liked about Kylos. So, sadly, the only one I liked of the starters would be Froakie. Who doesn't like Froakie, you know?
Yeah, you can get to the hidden form of Mega Evolution with
It's not a mega
Greninja.
evolution. It's a bond with Ash. It's Ash Greninja. It's not a mega evolution.
It's an example of Mega Evolution, though.
Okay, but first of all, it's never legal in the game. And
But
again, it's
it's not
only
legal in the
Ash.
game, but people have it.
It was not
It
an X
came
and
in
Y.
as an event Pokemon.
Okay, but
Ash.
it was not. And yeah, sure, it was. That's when Sun and Moon. It was only an event Pokemon in Sun and Moon, not an X and Y.
Yeah, I know.
So with any case, anyway, so yes, I chose Froakie. Obviously, plus he's really good.
Yeah.
Shit, sorry. Sorry. Anyways. So with Greninja's hidden ability Protein, so
Yeah.
whatever each move you use, it transforms to that type. Okay, so let's just say
Yeah.
you use Dark Pulse, it will become a Dark type, which is pretty cool, I guess. Or you use
Yeah.
Ice Beam, it will become an Ice type. So I thought that's a really useful ability too, I guess. Oh.
It reminds me of Coloron's color change.
Yeah, Kecleon is really cool. I like that.
Coloron is really weird because
Yeah.
it's really weird because of that ability. Whatever move it gets hit gets transformed to that type. Anyway, also you have like forecast, I believe. you change type based on the weather on the field. So yeah, there's different ways to change types on the field and all that stuff. But this is where we had Pokemon X and Y as well. Damn it, you there?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I really like X and Y storyline. It's just I don't know. Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is kind of weird for me.
Oh wait. Oh wait. So wait. We're not going to talk about like X and Y, the cows. We're not going to talk about the story or like the Mega Evolution. They introduced us to Mega Evolutions, by the way.
Yeah, Mega Evolution's huge in Kalos. I guess
Like,
it's not Mega Evolution.
was there anything particular was your favorite or?
I don't know. I really like how Mega Evolution, like, you had the classic Charizard, Gyarados, Mewtwo, X and Y version.
Mewtwo was a surprise. I didn't know Mew. But you know what's so funny? Like when I first played the game, right?
Yeah.
I didn't. First off, I didn't know you could catch Mewtwo in the game. Like after you beat, the
Yeah.
champion, right? And I was wandering through the snow city, and I wanted to see what was that cave, and it turned out to be Mewtwo. Another surprise, it can Mega Evolve. I was like, what? Mewtwo can
Yeah,
Mega
it also
Evolve?
gains special statuses based on its Mega Evolution. If you have the
Like,
X, I believe it increases the attack, and Y increases speed and special attack.
yeah, well, Y is pretty much better. Like the Y form is better.
Yeah, I think X is attack and defense, I believe.
Yeah, I prefer to play but I played X. Obviously, I like because Exerdius. Sorry, Exerdius. Okay, is a really broken Pokemon. Okay, and it's even banned. The fact when so its special ability, so its attack, its signature attack is Geomancy. Well, what it does, so it's a charge up move. Okay, so it takes 2 turns to use it, and once those 2 turns passed, doubles its speed, attack, and its special attack, I believe.
Yeah.
So if you equip it with Power Herb, you don't wait 2 turns. So in 1 turn, your speed, your special attack, and your attack is doubled in 1 turn. And on your next turn, you just sweep your opponent's team with Exerdius. Like how unfair is that?
Isn't it the Dia Pokemon? I believe the Dia Legendary. A
It's not. I
psychic?
mean, it
Is it
looks like a.
psychic?
No, it's a fairy. That's also an
Oh
introduction
yeah,
of fairy type.
Fairy. Introduction of Fairy comes in too.
Yep, Sylveon. It's really really cool.
Yeah, Glaceon was in. I think Glaceon was in Totem.
Glaceon has been around. It's always in Sinnoh.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
to, you have to allow it in the icy rock. Like
yeah.
in
Now
the
we have
ice.
SP. Now we have Oh gosh, what's it called? Sylveon.
I just told you we had Sylveon. Two.
Yeah. Now Fairy is an interesting type when they introduced it.
They're weak to steel types, unfortunately, but they're really strong. Another dragon city to watch out for is fairy types as well. But
Actually, it's the weak to steel and poison type exclusively,
yes,
and
that
they're
too.
doing it now. Dragon has another type bonus as well.
But it's also nowadays not a lot of people play fairy types,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But
So,
Fairy is now uh, super effective against Dragon, Poison, and Fighting. It's
yeah.
weird.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hey,
Now
like,
Dragon has now extra bonus, extra weakness to Ice Dragon and Fairy.
yep.
But I still don't understand how Steel hurts Fairy and Poison is so effective against Fairy.
Well, so
That
I
don't
get
make sense to me.
it does make sense because what is like magic powers gonna do against steel? Like it can't. It's not. It's weak against like it's not strong. Like steel is like aluminum steel can
Mm-hmm.
withstand like magic or whatever, right? And poison, of course, it's like full of dark energy. So and fairy is full of positive energy. I
But
don't know if
wait,
that makes
isn't
sense.
Fairy super effective against Dark too?
I'm a ghost type. I don't even know at this point. I'm bad at
And the
types.
thing is Dark types. Ghost types is neutral.
Yeah, just dark. Yeah, dark types. Yeah, yeah, bro. The light side. Ha ha ha. Funny.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. You have like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the primal versions of Kyogre and Groudon, versus the Mega Evolution of uh shoot, Mega Evolution of
Latios and
Raikou.
Latias.
Yeah,
And
that's
Rayquaza
super
too,
weird.
yeah.
You have primal Kyogre and Groudon, and then you have the Mega just Pokemon that just naturally Mega evolves at will. What Pokemon naturally Mega evolves at will?
It's not a
That's
Mega Evolution, Vic. It's a Primal Evolution. It's not Mega Evolution.
I
Oh
know
my
it is
God.
prime. It's not Prime Evolution. It's Mega
Yes, it
Evolve.
is. It's called Primal Groudon and Kyogre for a reason.
Not
It's not Mega
Primal. I'm talking about
Evolution. Mega
Rayquaza.
Evolution.
I'm talking
You need
about
a Keystone,
Rayquaza.
and you need a
Rayquaza Mega
Pokemon to bond
Evolve.
with you. You can't bond with legendaries. Oh my God, Vic.
I'm talking about Rayquaza. Rayquaza is
Yes,
Mega Evolve.
Rayquaza's not primal. It can Mega Evolve, but Groudon and Kyogre, they're not
Yes,
even
I
Mega
said the
Stones.
primal versions.
Yes, I know. Oh no, how come Deoxys didn't get one? How Deoxys is a legendary, and it clashes with Rayquaza. Actually, no, to be fair, Deoxys does has forms, but it's
Yeah,
kind of unfortunate. Yeah, you can only use the DNA thing, whatever. The
yeah,
DNA splicers, I think they're called.
yeah.
I forgot how you change it. Like its special attack. No, I think its speed. Its special attack is like its best form, obviously. So.
Yeah, true. This sixth generation is pretty interesting.
Oh,
With the
one
most.
time actually, I did shiny hunt for a shiny Deoxys
Mm,
and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That was fun.
yeah. Let's see. Well, type change was modified for the first time since Generation 2. Ghost and Dark have now effective
You
against
also
Steel
forgot
type
Latios
moves.
and Latias. They had Mega Evolutions.
Oh, now, yeah, we do.
And you could
But,
also use them to travel, to fly.
yep. What did you say?
You could use them to travel and fly really fast
Yeah.
throughout the map.
Oh, by the way, Ghost and Dark type moves now have normal effectiveness against Steel types. Weird. That's weird.
Well, even normal types, they're immune to ghosts too, right?
Yeah, normal still can affect Ghost types. And Ghost types still can't affect normal types. So
I mean,
that's a
yeah, I
weird
guess.
interaction.
Yeah.
This is black and white. Though online applications, Pokebang is introduced.
Yep.
Developed the Nintendo Shop online stores for Pokemon species. Expecting high demand, forced it to close and relaunch the following January. Okay, let's see. X, Y, and Z closed 2 years after Black and White, thus being compared with Black 2 and White 2. Generation 4 is found in Kalos. We also have the Royal Unova. It's stated to be currently under construction. So we had different things introduced. Oh, here's something. Mega evolution. My people know it from generation to generation. Pass along the lore about the distortions in the world born by the mega evolution mechanic. Number the existence of another world which have been observed to be just like this one, not the same. So home and away that's almost exactly like this one we live in, filled with Pokemon and people like us. The evolution took a slightly different path where mega evolution's unknown. So yeah, it just drives into the history of what it is. What's your favorite part of XY specifically?
um. Ooh, a lot. So the fact that I didn't know that Mewtwo was in the game and they can also Mega Evolve. Um, so the power plants, and also there are also mythical Pokemon that people were making rumors of, like
Mm,
the Volcanion and the Hiding and
yeah,
and the power plants. Like there's an underground steam or whatever. It's pretty cool. But no, that was a myth. But
yeah.
Volcanion was a Pokemon. It was an event Pokemon. Then they had the water fire type. I thought that was interesting. Like I don't think there was any other water fire type in the game actually. Funny enough.
Yeah.
What else? And Diancie,
Yeah.
the fairy rock type. And also Omega Alpha Sapphire, Diancie had a Mega Evolution as well. So,
Yeah.
so oh, and Hoopa. We can't forget about Hoopa as well, the
Yeah.
psychic ghost type that
Yeah.
had portals that could summon out legendary Pokemon, which was
Yeah.
also huge in the Omega and Ruby Sapphire storyline. The fact, like those huge rings in the air, that was because of Hoopa.
Yeah.
So
We also have Team Flare, which is
yeah.
basically make money in a beautiful world.
Oh, another thing I liked about it at the end, the Z, I think his name was Z.
Yeah.
Who told the
My God.
story of the red and blue Floette in the
Yeah.
end? That actually made me cry.
Yeah.
Like that story ending
Kalos
was
region
so
is
good.
based on France, believe it or
Huh?
not.
What?
Kalos region is based on France.
Yeah, that's true because of the Eiffel Tower. Yeah.
High battles, flying type Pokemon, ability to levitate or can participate.
But no, what'd you thought
Board
of the ending
encounters,
of this? Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
board encounters come up with multiple wild Pokemon engaged in battle against one of the player's Pokemon. The third format, alternative format in the game, is the inverse battle, which completely reverses the type matchups. So Pokemon Bank introduced. Now you have badges once again needed in order to use HM field moves. Dark Grass is no longer found. Pokemon Musical, Pokemon World Tournament, mass outbreaks and mail, footprints. All that's abandoned.
Well, also, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on the ending of X and Y? What the Z
That's
story
pretty
about the red and blue
straightforward.
flag?
I really like, we have Charm, which is now and Moonlight and Sweet Kiss are now fairy type. Some Pokemon change fairy type as well, like Turgenic, Togekiss, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, Mr. Mime, Igglypuff, as well, Contagion, Westacott. Receive a 10 point in one of the Butterfree, Bridgeart, okay. Interesting. What do you think of Generation 8?
Oh no, I thought we were still talking about the 7.
Yeah, we are. But we're
I
going on
wanted
Generation
I
8.
wanted to ask your thoughts on the ending of the story of Floette, where they had
Yeah,
the
I like
war.
it. Yeah.
You had no thoughts on it, or
I like it. Yeah.
okay? So I guess Olola region now, right? Which is Generation
Yeah.
8.
Sword and Shield.
Yeah. No. Well, no.
The
That's no.
Brawler
That's
region.
no. That's the no Olola region. That's Sun and Moon. We're going to Sun and Moon now.
Oh, yeah. Generation 7.
I'm like shaking my head. Okay, yes, Sun and Moon. Okay, so I believe you're so yeah. The starters was Rowlet, Litten,
Yep.
and Poppy.
Sun, Moon, Ultra Moon, and Ultra Moon. Yeah.
Sun and Moon, yeah, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, yeah. So my starter I picked is so there's obviously two good ones, which is Litten and Rowlet.
Yeah.
My first pick was Populo because it was a seal, but
Mhm.
I found it wasn't really that great. Um, and like Rowlet is your best starter because of Decidueye's Decidueye is a really good Pokemon with its leaf arrows and stuff. So is Litten. Litten's a good Pokemon with Incineroar. Uh let's see what else. Um trying to remember, but I also caught it was actually with shiny hunting. I did found a shiny Rowlet during my soft resets. I was really happy about that. So that's why I chose Rowlet as also my starter. And Decidueye is a really cool shiny color. And I mean, Alolan, they introduced us to the Alolan form Pokemon, like the Alolan version, which becomes like a normal dark type. The Alolan Executor, which becomes a dragon type for whatever reason. Because
Yeah,
it's
I like Sandscrew being a
yeah,
Sand
an
Slash
ice
and
type.
stuff being
Yeah,
ice and
Sandstorm.
ground type.
Yes, and then oh, and Vulpix and Ninetales, like the old, like those are cute. Like the ice, they
Ice
become ice.
Fire?
No, ice psychic. No, ice fairy. Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
ice fairy. And also, the Alolan Ponyta and Rapidash, they become fairy typed
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
because they're unicorns. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, then they also introduced us to new type of legendaries like the Ultra Beasts.
Yep.
Travel through
I don't
wormholes.
think isn't the Ultra Beast like they're not really. I don't know. Ultra Beast to me are not mythical. They're not legendary. It's just Ultra Beast.
Yeah, they're
Isn't
Ultra
most
Beasts.
Ultra isn't most Ultra Beasts banned from gameplay?
Yeah, some of them are really good. Like the I forgot most of their names, but most of them are quite really competitive in the game. Then you also got Solgaleo and Lunala. Those are really good as well. But that really only evolved from what's this Cosmos? I forgot it's called. Like the
I think that the only legendary Pokemon that have evolutionary trains.
yep, because it evolves into that little cloud,
Yeah.
into that little orb. Not the
Yeah.
orb, depending on what version you either go into Lunala or Solgaleo.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. And then we also have the other spin-offs like Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, part of the same generation when released, which is a
Well, I
remake
thought
of Generation One.
we also didn't finish. Like like
Yeah.
they also have an introduction to the Z moves as well,
Oh yeah.
where a Pokemon can have a fifth move. So, but you can only use it one time. So, and you gotta have like the specific stone, and Mega
Yeah.
Evolution was not around either. So that would be insane. The fact that you can Mega Evolve and you have a Z ring. That's a Z move. 5 moves in Mega Evolution. How is that fair?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I feel like Mega Evolution is a lot better than the Z move.
no, it's not. No. Mega Evolution kind of like died down by a ton. Especially they banned like the good ones, like Mega Gengar. Like Gengar was extremely broken. Blaziken they nerfed it because of its speed boost ability. Like they really nerfed a lot of Mega. So Megas are really not that popular anymore, unfortunately. Same goes for Z moves, really. That's also
Z moves are
unfortunate.
literally just one move though. You don't use it again.
Exactly. Like no one uses. Yeah, but now if we go, well, we'll get to the next generation. But yeah, just for Alola, yeah, I don't know. It's just,
I
but
kind
it's
of like Mega Evolution better than Z moves. Z moves just feel like
I mean, there was Mega Evolution in there, but you can't just use a Z move and a Mega Evolution in one time. That's just not how that works. And that would just be broken. So
I don't
that a
know.
Mega Evolution Pokemon can learn a Z move. Uh,
I don't know. I'm conflicted with that. We have like Team Skull, which is a joke. Oh my gosh. Team Skull doesn't even do nothing. Of all the different billion teams we have, is Team Skull. What the heck?
yeah, I mean, I like some of the characters in Team Skull. Like what was her name? I forgot her name. Oof.
And our lower region's actually based in Hawaii, believe it or not.
Yep, that's true.
So aloha is like bye or hello. It has different meanings depending on how you use it in context. So just know that.
Mm-hmm.
The addition of Votom Pokédex is a special Votex by Votom. That's funny.
Yeah.
3D models, Game of Darkness, stuff like that, cartoons. Certain NPC characters now have keep their Pokemon in Pokeballs other than standard Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
You can see status changes during a battle. Um, Z moves can learn and perform once per battle. Isn't Z moves only once per
Yes.
per one battle?
Yes, it's once per battle.
So is that basically one Pokemon use one Z move in
Yep, that's
one
it. Yep,
battle?
yep, 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 yep. It's only once per battle. That would be unfair.
I rather have a Mega Evolution.
Yeah,
I would think Mega Evolution is stronger because the Pokemon has that stat boost.
but then over time, Mega Evolution just kind of like stopped being reliable now. You know.
I mean, I feel like C moves are not that great. You have to like it really lowers your. You have to now have the Z crystals hold onto the Pokemon. Where you can have you should have other items instead of Z crystals. I don't know. It just encourages the Pokemon held item strategy not to be relevant.
I see.
Different. Also with Alola, we don't have gyms necessarily. We just have the addition of the Island Challenge, a traditional rite in the lower region involving trials guided by the champions, totem Pokemon, and battles with the Island Ahuas. Kind of interesting. We also have Zygarde's 4 alternate forms that was shown in XYZ come into play.
Mm-hmm.
Do they still have? I don't think they have the gym battles, do they?
No, they had
That's
they had a thing called no,
yeah.
they did have gym battles. Yes, they did, and they also had trials where you can unlock certain Z stones and stuff, or you have the ability to use Z rings or whatever.
But yeah, the Island Challenge I saw more than the gym battle though.
Yeah, that's and also a fun experience. I would call like a shiny
Yeah.
Mimikyu. Like remember Mimikyu, the guy, the Pokemon that thinks it was a Pikachu because Pikachu was like really famous, and it's like the head of Pokemon. So
Yeah. We have 2 new battle modes. Battle Royale. Each player takes aim to defeat each other. Battle ends when all Pokemon trainers are knocked out. It has been the highest combined number of knockouts. And a battle where wild Pokemon can summon allies to assist them on the SOS battle.
oh, I'll tell you something funny. So Mimikyu's ability is decoy, right? So so the first hit it's immune. Okay, so when my friend and I were doing our battle, she used her Z move, her last Pokemon, right? She used her Z move on the Mimikyu without realizing that Mimikyu was still in its decoy ability. So she wasted her Z move that did no damage to Mimikyu, and then I won. So,
So yeah, now we have one new variant in the Pokeball, which is called the Beast Ball. The introduction of a new evolution stone, the Ice Stone, comes into play. Pokemon battle, balance screen, effectiveness. So yeah, we have different starters and going on Mega Evolution. Pokemon speed after Mega is from the turn order, not its speed before. Moves can no longer be used outside of battle. That's unfortunate.
hmm,
Because now the HM moves are like irrelevant because of Rider Pokemon.
I
I
see.
don't know. I don't know. I think HM moves are still really good to travel. I don't really think riding Pokemon is necessarily the best in my case.
Hmm.
Bone is now only 1/16 of the Pokemon's maximum HP instead of 1/8. Paralyzed now decreases the Pokemon speed to 50% instead of 25%. Confusion only has a 33% of making the Pokemon hunting itself instead of 50%. So the status changes in Burning, Paralysis, and the Confusion also changes.
Yeah.
But Gengar's abilities change the cursed body. Well, that's pretty much wraps up what Alola is and the 7th generation. Let's go on about the 8th generation real quick.
Now they, I forgot the name of I forgot the name of that region, but it's based off the United Kingdom. Obviously, it's like kind of like British, and they have their starters. I believe I remembered was the Garoki. I think it's called Garoki. the grass monkey. What else? He got Score Bunny, and then Drizzle, or I forgot the water. Kind of forgot them, but I chose Score Bunny because obviously it's like the best. It's like the fastest out of them all, and it's a bunny. Who doesn't like it? Also, my first choice was it wasn't Drizzle. I forgot its name. Swaddle, I think it's called. I forgot, but the water lizard Pokemon, like when it fully Mega Evolves, its sniper ability is just so good. You know,
Yeah.
but at the
So
end of the
this
day, I like Score Bunny and its Cinderace was pretty cool. So
yep. So this is Sword and Shield.
yep.
It's based in the Galar region, Generation 8.
And we were
You know,
introduced to the Gigantamax Pokemon, which
yeah.
everyone's now using now. Gigantamax instead of using Z moves or Mega Evolution. That's the new trend right now is Gigantamax or G Max.
I believe Gigantamax is like what? One attack they get? Or
It's
something like
not
that?
no. Like they just become big.
Oh.
Like that's it. They become big and their attacks become bigger, I guess. Or their stats. It's just a bigger version of themselves. Like
Yeah.
they're under a dark cloud that gives them the Gigantamax energy. So
Yeah, I still feel like Mega Evolution is better. Eh.
I don't know about that,
All
Chief.
these new changes like Z moves and stuff like that don't really advance gameplay.
But that's the new trend right now is Gigantamax. Like,
Yeah, eh, I still have a good opinion about it.
and they also had some, and they fixed a lot of, well, they fixed a lot of stuff in the game too. Now it's more easier to train Pokemon. It's more easier to grind and shiny hunt Pokemon, which kind of really sad for the old time players who really shiny hunted because it's back in the day. It took a lot of time to shiny hunt and grind for like the perfect Pokemon, like the perfect IVs, and it's a shiny. It takes a lot of time nowadays. You can do all that within a day or minutes because of the new system, which kind of sucks. So I mean, it's good, I guess, for some people, but it
Yeah.
sucked for the very dedicated players back in the day because it took a lot of time, and
Yeah.
effort. And I'm one of those people. Like I actually grinded to get a shiny. It took me time
Hmm.
to grind to get a decent IV Pokemon. So,
What do you think of Team Yell?
but at the same time, it's good for people. What? I can't hear
What do you
you.
think
What?
of what do you think of the new Team Yell?
I have no comment for that.
So they wasn't the Team
They're way
Strong.
worse. Fucking way
Oh
worse.
my gosh. Well, the villains now have decreased, as I told you. Oh, we have Rotom phone now. Oh gosh. Rotom
Ah,
bike. Oh my gosh.
Rodon phone too.
Uh Rotophone and Rotobike. Yay. 19 new regional forms, including 2 different forms of Pokemon now, including 2, 3, and 4. In addition to cross-generation evolutions exclusive to regional forms. That's cool.
Yeah.
Have the introduction of several new forms, 8 new gyms. The gyms come back. We're also the first gym that specializes in dark type Pokemon, so that's kind of cool. 10 new gym leaders, including the first dark leader. A new mechanic, Dynamax, which increases the size and allows the use of max moves for 3 turns. And then you have Giga Gigantamax, which is depends on the mechanic by also changing a Pokemon's form, turning a certain type into G-Max moves as well. Okay, so at least Giant Max moves can be used for 3 turns, and then G-Max, I guess, is 1 turn? I'm not sure. Um, yeah. News from audio games are not programmed in the game's current patch cannot be used in Sword and Shield. Okay, that's not good. Town map is part of a menu. Pokéride, Charizard, the flying taxi directly from the map. Abandonment of the Moss Rock, Ice Rock, and Special Magnetic Field. The evolution methods of certain Pokemon change. Eevee evolves into Leafeon or Glaceon via Evolutionary Stone. And Pokemon that evolve via Special Mechanic Field now evolve via Thunderstone. What the heck? Why? Okay, well, that's weird. Primal Reversion, Ultra Beast, Rotom Powers. Yeah, that's pretty much Generation 8 in a nutshell. What do you think?
That's interesting.
I don't know. I never imagined Leafeon or Glaceon is now an evolutionary stone.
Mhm.
That's weird to me. But, I guess having the grass stone, life ice stone is probably a bit better now. Can't really explain that way. But yeah, that concludes this episode of I think is there only 8 generations, I believe?
I'm pretty sure, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the 9th generation will launch in 2022. So keep in mind.
Two. Haha.
So that marks the end of this discussion. There is no closing remarks. We've talked about the 8 different generations up to this point in the Pokemon universe. Stay tuned for 22. See how the 9th generation affects Pokemon and how I believe the Legend of Arceus comes into play. So that'll be interesting to see that. But this concludes the episode. You have anything else to say? Chemist.
Um. Well, I enjoyed Pokemon a lot. I'm sure everyone has when they're in the childhood. Um. And it's a really good experience, and all of a sudden, because of Pokemon, like it now it's really popular now from Pokemon Go and stuff like that. I could see it. It give like for a long time, Pokemon would be really really good, like in the for like and for the world. So that's just my opinion on it.
Alright, well, you heard it from him. Person just stays at home and wants to be sick.
Oh my God, I don't want to stay sick all my life. Too. I can't even
Have,
spit properly.
have fun, gamers.
Bye bye.